It's a new era here at Bridgewater-Raynham Regional High School, the Ian Bain era for the BR Trojans football team. Welcome to BR. I'm John Luck with Corey Cloudman as we get set for the season opener for both Barnstable Redhawks and the BR Trojans. And Corey, a new head coach coming in here for the BR Trojans, the second one in 3 years now. For a new player for this team, how important is it to kind of try and figure out how a coach maneuvers himself in the first couple weeks of the season here? Because you're trying to get pretty high on the depth chart while also winning games.
Yeah, I think this is huge. You know, he has to come in here and really kind of get into them, kind of get under their skin, kind of make them a little bit uncomfortable and show like, hey, look, I'm in charge. Obviously we want to have fun, but I really want to come in here. We want to win games. We have to get serious. We have to come in here and really push hard.
And winning games, something BR definitely looking to do, as they've had a rough few years here. You go back to last season, 4-7. The season actually started 1-7, but the team did turn things around, winning their next 3 games by an average of 17 points a game. So things are starting to turn around a little bit here. But how important is it for this team to take what happened last year and use it for a little bit of a momentum push next year or this year?
Right. I mean, coming into this year, you have to carry on that momentum, but also let's not get embarrassed. Like that's the kind of thing. Like, you're in front of like your home fans. You come down here, you're playing football. Like, let's have a good time. And also, we talked about this before the game. How about actually have a little bit of respect for the past BR, players in history, and like actually bring this program back to being like a powerhouse, playing in playoff games and in Super Bowls, and have a little bit of pride in your team, in your school.
Beautiful night here at the regional. Temperatures and the humidity actually in check here. You would think the first game of the season usually really hot or really humid, but by football standards, actually a perfect evening here at BR.
Oh, beautiful night. Good night to come out, watch the game, and before the cold weather hits and the leaves start falling.
As the students getting back into the swing of things here, the first couple weeks of school here at the regional, and a great showing here from parents and fans as well.
Yeah, still people coming in. There's still a little bit of a line come in.
So we'll step aside for a moment here for the national anthem that's going to be played by the BR Marching Band.
David's personality and his dedication to the program will forever be remembered by families and members of the BR school community. Thank you. We request that you remain standing for the playing of the national anthem led by the BR Marching Band.
BR and Barnstable moments away from renewing what was once a long-time conference rivalry. Last season, Barnstable 9-2, the BR Trojans, as I mentioned, 4-7. But nonetheless, being able to come out here and play another team with a different jersey, I'd imagine that's a sight for sore eyes, given the fact this team went through training camp for a couple weeks.
Right, camp camp obviously is great. You're out there hitting your buddies and everything, and that now to actually finally have someone with a different uniform on. And if you have followed BR football for years, you do know Barnstable was like an OCL rival. Many years going back and forth over that bridge. I did it. Everyone that's played before has done it. So now you get a chance to come out here and actually get a chance to get some good hits. Knock them on the butt. Let's go. Let's get it going.
You see number 6 out there for the BR Trojans, Caleb Tripp, and he's on here as a running back. But last year, Tripp was under center for the BR Trojans, taking over for Declan Byrne, who missed the last 3 games of the season. As you see, Barnstable won the toss. They deferred to the second half. As you can just kind of feel the sense of excitement here for a new football season, and a season that nobody really knows what to expect. Basically a brand new coaching staff coming in. I mentioned Ian Bain taking over for Lou Pacheco. Bain turning things around for Franklin, a 2-9 team in 2016. Just 2 years later, a 7-win team, and had them in talks for appearing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, to bring that into this program here, I don't think, coming in here, obviously we had the Dan Bjorn era for a long time. Everyone kind of knew what to expect with him, and Pacheco didn't really have a chance to get going on that, but, he's out. Now Bain's in, so let's see what happens. Like, hopefully he can get a good feel for this program and a good feel for these kids and start a new era here. Kind of hard to say anything when you don't really know too much about him, and he's coming in here. Let's see what kind of offense he's going to run and what he's got.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while for you being here in the press box. You came in and everything was basically brand new.
Yeah, pretty much.
Except the walls, they're still the same.
Well, they're the same, yeah. It looks like, someone's peeling the wallpaper off here.
Got Dylan Reed and Mason Payton awaiting this kick for the BR Trojans, and we're starting things a little bit earlier compared to when you're used to. Typically, it's a 7 o'clock kickoff, but now it's a 6 o'clock kickoff, so the sun could play a little bit of a role in the early passing game as well as the kick return game.
Especially in this, where they're receiving it down the south end zone, looking right into the sun. That could, if it's over your head, just let it go.
Hagen Diaz, number 24 for Barnstable, going to kick things away. And the 2024 season is off and running here at the regional.
No communication there.
As this is going to be Peyton taking it through the middle and pulled down right around the 30-yard line.
I think this is going to be important, John, here, that they come out here and maybe try throwing it a little bit, try to get a little run going, but let's see if they can come out here and light it up a little bit and not just kind of start with the typical BR running offense. Let's see what kind of plays Bain's going to bring to this program.
So it looks like junior Jack Lambert going to start at quarterback here for the BR Trojans in the backfield with Caleb Tripp.
Yeah, Owen King wasn't dressed when he went out there for the coin toss.
Already starting off here. 2 receivers to the far side. First play on offense, a handoff to Tripp to the near side. Going to be pushed out just over the 30-yard line.
Nice little run to the side, trying to see what they can get on that outside, seeing what kind of speed they had from the defensive end there. Looks like he got a little bit, but you're going to have to get those tackles out there a little faster.
Of course, for the BR Trojans, for years, you mentioned it, it's been all about the running game, the run blocks, and we're really interested to see what the passing game could look like here, especially with a new quarterback here in Jack Lambert.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big thing is like, for years when you talk about BR football, you talk about some of the offensive linemen, but of course the running backs. There's a lot of them that have gone on to play college, and I think that's just kind of what you've known for years.
Caleb Tripp again on the carry, taking it off tackle and taken down by the kicker there, Diaz. Going to bring up a 3rd and 1 just over 30 seconds in.
Still going from the shotgun, kind of interesting to see what they're going to do here.
Number 1, Will Porter Jr. on the far side. Hard count by Lambert as he looks back at his coach.
See if they're trying to pull him off sides here.
Red Hawks going to send 4 on the line. Tripp
Oh,
through
looks
the
like he got
middle. He
enough.
may come close to the first down marker. And they are going to move the chains for the first BR first down of the season.
Not a bad call there. I would have thought they may have tried a little play action, see if they could get out to some of those big receivers on the side there, maybe a little screen play.
In the early stages of the game, is it just as simple as Ian Baines trying to get his quarterback, Jack Lambert, kind of accustomed to looking at the different defenses Barnstable maybe throwing at him?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to try to throw. They know he's not their normal starting quarterback, so they might try to throw some different, like that.
Lambert picked off by the kicker, Diaz, and Diaz gives Barnstable the first score of the season. A 41-yard pick six.
I mean, just from up here, John, we could have seen he was going to throw it that way. His body was turned to that side, and a great read by the defense. Made a nice move on him and took it to the house. Right here, you watch the quarterback turn to the right. If you're a good defensive back or even a mediocre defensive back, you can see that. Watch the quarterback's hips, and you know where that ball's going.
So Lambert's first passing attempt of the season, taken back by the other team.
And it's good.
And Diaz will make it a 7-0 game, getting all 7 points. Just 95 seconds in.
Yeah, so now here, you got to get that quarterback, get him right back on the field, get him throwing again. Talk to him, talk him up. Don't let him hang his head because it's still early in this game. You still have a lot of football to play. And you don't need him getting shell-shocked after that one play. So hopefully they come out here, they get him throwing again, looking at the defense, and just tell him, hey, look, keep your head up. Keep an eye on where you're throwing it. Don't give away everything. If you're a quarterback, if you watch right here, he throws right to that side. Listen, you gotta let that one go, and just come out here and hopefully they let him throw it a little bit and don't take his confidence away by throwing the run at him.
Intended for Dylan Reed, very simple. Diaz just undercut him and beat him to the punch.
Easy move, yeah. Like if you're a defensive back, that's what your dream is, that the quarterback gives it away before it even leaves his hand.
Again, it will be Reed and Payton awaiting this kick. End over end, taken by Payton. And Payton will get stopped right around the 26-yard line as the ball came loose after he went down. In terms of play calling, do you expect them to go back to the passing game right away, or do you go ahead and let Tripp try and calm things down a little bit with a running game?
Well, like I said, I hope they don't throw the throwaway right, completely, because I mean, just because he threw that interception, I think you got to come out here, maybe try a little swing pass, try to get it on the outside a little bit, try to find some easier passes, and just make him get out of that funk that he might be feeling right now in his head. Get him out there, throwing the ball a little bit. Of course, run the ball to try to get some yards early, but you can't let him lose confidence, because that was a huge play right there. Wouldn't be surprised here if they started with a little counter to the left, but.
Well, the man in motion, going to hand off to Tripp, and through the middle may have picked up a yard, if anything. But again, BR keeping it on the ground.
Yeah, trying to pull the linebackers with motion there, trying to go to the other side, trying to give Tripp a little bit more room to run, maybe up the middle or maybe kick it outside. But looks like a strong defense right here from Barnstable. I don't think they're biting on any of that.
Already the fourth carry for Caleb Tripp and up to 11 yards rushing. On second and long, 3 receivers to the near side. Going to complete this pass to Tripp. Goes across the 30. Going to get the first down across the 40-yard line to the 41.
So that's what I meant, John, right there. Maybe one of those little swing passes, maybe a little 5-yard throw, right, dinking down off to the right side there. Try to get Tripp some yards there, but also get the quarterback some confidence back after that pick six. A little easier pass, a little bit less of a reading the defense, especially with the defensive backs coming up there. They're watching him like a hawk, so A little couple of passes like that's not a bad idea.
Like a Barnstable Red Hawk.
Well, there it is, flying in.
So Lambert starting to ease into things a little bit here. With a new set it down. Dropping back to pass. He'll complete this one to the near side.
Nice.
Dylan Reed to the near side inside the red zone.
That was great right there. Oh, looking to the right, didn't give it away, found his receiver, good outside. Only he could catch it. Great play. Now this puts him in a tough spot in the field too, John. You run it, you throw it. It's a tough spot right here. They got the, looks like the pistol formation coming out here.
So 2 big completions for Lambert. A 12-yard completion to Tripp and a 46-yard completion to Dylan Reed. Staying on the ground with Tripp. Going to stay right around the numbers to about the 7-yard line. Going to pick up about 5 on the play.
Yeah, if you watch on the replay here, it was good vision by Tripp, finding it on the outside, able to shake one tackle there, able to get about, 4 or 5 yards there.
Second down, about 4.
Again, Porter going to be alone, this time on the near side here on a 2nd and 4. Fakes the pass, goes for the pass to the end zone. Touchdown to Will Porter.
And he's going to get a flag for celebration. Well, they were quick to throw that, huh, John?
So you see the fake
The catch,
handoff and then the
gets up,
touchdown.
spikes it, and then rips open his shirt. So that puts you in a tough spot there with your kicking game, too. Hopefully you can make the extra point.
And I'm seeing Porter going down the sideline here, and Ian Bain is giving him a piece of his mind.
Good.
Because that's a big play, because it's very simple. The kickoff, that gets moved now.
Right.
But looking at the positives, I mean,
There are a
Jack
lot of
Lambert threw a
positives.
pick 6, then he turned things around with a huge 46-yard completion to Reed. And then a touchdown pass.
And that's exactly what I
Pete-
said. Like coming out, don't let, obviously get some runs in there, but don't be afraid to let him throw it, because that's going to give him that confidence back. And I bet he's already forgot about that interception. But very quick to throw the flag. I get it. But I guess they're doing what they have to do. Right, John?
Porter is a senior. And again, that kind of adds to what we talked about before, the fact that you went through 2 rough weeks of training camp. Things do get a little tiring, and then you're out here in front of a packed stand. You're starting to feel the excitement, but obviously that could come back to bite BR later on in this game.
Absolutely could. I mean, I don't know. They're very quick to throw the flag for excessive celebration. I get it, but I guess I don't get it at the same time. But this is a tough kickoff here.
It looks like, if anything, the wind may be helping BR a little bit, going from left to right across the screen. Just over 4 minutes in, and we already have 2 touchdowns on the board.
Yeah, been a very exciting game so far. They're trying to find the right ball here.
Have to make sure it has the right PSI, the right feeling.
Changing humidity today, John. Good.
This will be number 42, Drew Bowen. Kicking off a short kick to the Barnstable 35, taken back by Diaz into BR territory to the 46-yard line. And pretty good field position here for the Red Hawks after that penalty.
Very good field position here. Now you're going to hope your defense comes out here for the first time and see what they can do. It's crazy to think the defense hasn't even been out there yet. We haven't even seen Barnstable's offense yet, and it's already 2 scores and almost done with the first quarter.
So it looks like Dylan Hamilton coming out for the Red Hawks for quarterback. A 4-receiver set. And you're going to throw here for the first play on offense, and a big completion right around the 20. Pass completed to Caden Forts.
Yeah, if we get to see that one again, here we go. He's wide open here. Someone missed an assignment here. The corner jumped on that one to try to come down low. No, the safety didn't come over and read that one correctly, and it was a wide open receiver down the left side of the field.
Just about a 26-yard completion. The first play on offense.
Hopefully they get a good jam here. They have the DBs up on the receivers. Hopefully they can get a jam at the line. And don't be surprised for a screen. Yep.
High pass, but it is completed. And for a loss, that was to Jason Dyer.
That's a great read by the defense there. And I think that if you watch here, he comes over, looks, defense read it correctly, got away from their blocks, came over and made a nice tackle for a loss.
Second and 11.
Again, Barnstable last season 9-2.
Yeah, if you look online, you can see they're one of the top-ranked teams in Division II, along with King Philip and a couple other teams there. Marshfield.
Pass completed to the motion man, Diaz, inside the 15 to the 13-yard line.
See, so plays like that, if you watch, you have a lot of room on that left side of the field. You got to get your linebackers over a little bit more to try to close that gap because you have good blocking by your receivers there and your tight ends. You got that man in motion. He's already got the advantage with having the speed going to the left side of the field. He's able to find his blocks and try to find some room there.
So a 9-yard pickup for Barnstable here. Going to bring up a 3rd and short, just under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter.
The pistol offense there, seeing what they can do with it here. That's a tough one for the defense.
Here's a handoff through the middle, and a flag comes out. So for the moment, it's a first down.
Maybe a hold down there, John?
Flag on the play, holding. That'll move them back.
So that'll bring us to another 3rd down, right, John? We'll back it up.
And really big for the BR defense because right there you think you just gave up a first down carry, but now all of a sudden you kind of have a new life.
But also here, remember what they did when they were on the other side of the field, right? You have that from the hash to hash. That's a lot of space on the right side of the field, and they have been very good at getting completions to the right side, to the outside of the field. So you got to bring a linebacker over there and kind of watch, and see what they're going to do.
Dyer in the backfield here on 3rd down, loses this ball, and going down and taken down by 57, Cody Baker.
Huge play right there. Just couldn't get a handle on the ball. Maybe a little sweat. Early game in the year. A little humidity going on down there. Big spot. Now let's see what they do on 4th down. What kind of kicker they have.
Well, you see number 24 there on the screen. That is Hagen Diaz, and he did have the opening kickoff. And it looks like they are going to go for it here.
Yeah, this is a tough spot in the field, especially for high school. Unless you have a dead ringer as a kicker, it's kind of a tough spot where you kind of have to go for it. You don't want to, but
a 4th and 13 for.
Try to draw them off sides a little bit, but get it closer to the.
And dropped. So a turnover on downs for the BR Trojans defense. And right there for Ross Jacola, the Barnstable head coach, it was almost like a case of house money because if you do turn it over on downs, which they just did, Now you're giving BR the ball basically at their own 20.
Yeah, it's not a great field position for BR, and that's kind of, like I said, at this level in high school football, if you don't have a kicker that's going to get it close, you might as well try to go for it and see what you can do and see if you can get a little bit closer. I personally would have tried to run it there. Maybe you get a block, maybe you don't, maybe he breaks the run, maybe he doesn't, but you also get a little bit more room down the field as opposed to giving him the ball right where you stand.
Jack Lambert comes back out for the BR Trojans on offense. Braden Lewis on his right side. Lambert going to air this one, was looking for Porter, and Porter was simply looking for pass interference.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to get it there. I think right there they were trying to see if they could catch that safety sleeping, and that was just not the case. As he throws it deep here, you can watch that safety had him played it perfectly.
You can see one of the coaches there, it looks like saying Porter pushed off his defender.
I think he might have a little bit, especially at the end there, but I think at that point the ball was uncatchable. And you're not getting pass interference on either side there. But let's see if they can get some yards here. Maybe get a simple run on the outside. See if they can get something going.
On second down, handoff to the sophomore running back, who's going to go to the near side here and should get enough for the first down.
Perfect play right there. And I think that kind of goes back to now, like Barnstable's defense thinking maybe they can throw the ball, and they're bringing more people up front. As you see there on the outside, great run by the sophomore.
So Braden Lewis picking up the first down.
Defense is playing a little deeper. I think they think a good pass is coming here across the middle, as they have everybody played a little bit more deep.
Gonna stay on the ground again with Lewis across the 35 to the 37. It looks like was the initial stop.
Right.
And in these early games, how important is it for a player like Braden Lewis to get these carries here in the first quarter?
It's huge because you have to, especially if you talk about old BR football, you had like a stable of running backs. But this is huge too. He's a sophomore, trying to get him out there, get him some carries, and see what he can do for you, and try to establish a couple running backs that they don't know who's getting the ball when they can go out there.
Second and 7 as we hit the 3-minute mark in this first quarter. Staying on the ground across the 40 again is Lewis. So definitely getting his reps in here in the season opener.
Right, I think they're trying to give him some runs here early in the game, but also trying to play some mind games with the Barnstable defense, because they don't know what they're going to throw at them either. It's a new head coach, new era here at BR.
Even later,
they don't know how to play him. Are they going to pass it? Are they going to run it? They're kind of playing both ways here early in the game, and I think that's kind of going good for them so far.
And you think later in the season, if you can save Caleb Trips some carries here in the early part of the year, if you do start to pick up some momentum in October, it could help you out. Lambert going to throw here, and the pass is completed at midfield to number 15, Jason Kelleher, for the 7-yard pickup.
That looks similar to the play that the pick six happened here. That was good footwork there. Good throw, quick. He got it out of his hands quick. He didn't sit on that back foot and was able to get it out there for only the receiver to catch it. I think that's what we're seeing from Lambert now here, is he's getting the ball out quicker, and he's not sitting on that back foot, letting the defensive backs make a move on him.
72 yards passing already for Jack Lambert, and we're still in the first quarter with 2:20 to go. A 4-receiver set. Lambert going to have a short drop back. Complete this one in between the numbers. Had it punched loose. That was Dylan Reed who had it punched loose. A turnover here, but a big hit at the 25 by Braden Lewis.
That's tough. He did make that catch. Let's see in the replay here. Did he make a football move or one step? Because he does make a good catch. Yep, that's a fumble. Well, I think the best way you can look at this if you're the coaching staff of BR is, well, at least he didn't get too many yards and it was downfield, so it's similar to a punt situation that you gave him the ball. Similar to what we were talking about with BR and Barnstable giving them the ball. It's not a huge loss here, because they do have a lot of yards to pick up here.
Just about 9 minutes in. It feels like this thing's already been a roller coaster. So now back out on offense, Dylan Hamilton. He has 3 receivers to the far side, has Forts on the near side. And a sidearm pass, it looks like, there by Hamilton. Going to be incomplete, but a unique delivery, at least from where I'm sitting here in the press box.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it here from the replay here. Kind of a smaller quarterback trying to see through the offensive line. But what I've seen from him so far, like for Barnstable, is the discipline, the good thing for BR, the discipline for these hard counts. It looks like he's going 4 or 5 count every play here. And you haven't seen one flinch from the BR defense, which is a really good sign so far.
Hamilton, a junior quarterback for Barnstable, 34 yards passing so far in this first quarter. Completes that one to the far side. Going to get the first down and more is number 8, Jason Dyer, a fellow junior for the Redhawks.
Yeah, we watched the replay here. He's not a very big quarterback, so he has been throwing a lot to the side and short. Can't really see over those offensive, defensive linemen, and that's the kind of thing that you know it's going to happen with him, is he's going to throw it to the outside. He's going to use his feet, trying to roll out there. So take that into the consideration if you're the defensive coordinator for BR and try to make him make decisions a little bit quicker, maybe throw some blitzes at him. I haven't seen too many blitzes yet.
A 20-yard pickup, a new set of downs for Barnstable as they march along here in this first quarter. Into BR territory, pass complete to Kyle Coffin. And Coffin gets pulled down at the 41-yard line into BR territory.
Yeah, that was good grit by the quarterback there, because he did stay in that pocket. He let the blitz come at him, and he found the open receiver and was able to get a good gain right there. And that's a big thing, too, is you have to keep throwing blitzes at them, and you have to see what kind of grit and what speed you have for your defensive backs to stay with these receivers. Send some of these linebackers and maybe a strong safety over the middle and try to get their hands up and try to knock down some of these passes. Because you have to make this quarterback a little bit more uncomfortable and not let him be able to sit there in the pocket and make these passes.
That was the 4th completion to Hamilton's 4th different receiver, so ball distribution definitely no issue for Barnstable early on. On first down, a carry through the middle, going to go nowhere. Maybe a 2-yard pickup there for Dyer.
So watch right here. The defense has been doing good all game, coming up there and finding those runs. All they have to do now is try to find the quarterback on the passing plays and get in there a little quicker, or take out his receivers that have been wide open for the most part. That's what I'd like to see here. See if they can get up the middle here and try to knock them out.
My stats keeping could be wrong here, but I have that down as the first running play for Barnstable here tonight.
No, they ran it a couple times down the other side of the field, especially on the on third down.
As I said, I'm not the official stats guy, thank goodness. Hamilton again, sidearm, completes it, that one to 87, Brady Kundle.
Yeah, see right there, that's another tough one. We get a replay on that here. You can see they have him, and it looks like someone kind of gave up. It has him here, hands up, not able to get around him, and they're able to get a decent gain there. Good on the defense, though, getting up, wrapping them up, making them blow the whistle, but Hamilton's been just able to kind of like sneak his way out of some of these tackles.
And that is the final play of an eventful first quarter here at the Regional in the season opener for both teams. 7-7, and BR responsible for all 14 points on the board.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, I mean, but I think this was a good first quarter for BR. I think this is they shook it off the first series of the game. Obviously, it didn't end well for them. It ended up with 7 points, but they were able to get that first series out of the way. Yeah, it ended up in a pick 6, but they were able to come back out. They didn't show that they were touched by it. They were bothered by it. They came out and they went down and scored with some really good passes. And I think it was a good response to what happened in their first series, of this new coaching era.
Think about it. Jack Lambert had a pick 6. With his next completions, he was 4 of 5 for 72 yards passing. And you think about what would have happened if he completed that pass that was eventually fumbled by Dylan Reed. If that pass was completed, you're talking about maybe another 20 or 30 yards. So it's very possible Lambert could have close to 100 yards passing in the first quarter of the season opener.
Right, and if you're the offensive coordinator, you're not trying to make his head bigger than it already is, but you have to get him into him in the huddles here before he goes back out there and say, look, this is what you're doing. You're doing a great job, but we do need to get the completions down. We need to get, and you got to talk to your receivers too. Like, listen, you got to hold on to that ball. Like, we don't have that many chances here to score. We got to take advantage as many as we can.
But right now, it's the Barnstable offense on the field and currently driving.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. This is a big stop right here for BR if they can get it, find a way to stop him here.
Again, Hamilton playing out of the gun. Had pressured. He completes the pass. Going to be shy of the first down. It was completed to Dan Murphy.
That's going to be close, and we already know kind of what they're going to do as they've. So, they have said that they are going to go for it here. They don't have the confidence in their kicker, and I think it's a little too short to punt. So, I think you know you're in 4-down territory here if you BR. You know they're going to come after you with the hard count, and they're going to try to get you to jump and see if they can get that easy first down. I think that's the big thing Hamilton's done well so far is come out here and try to jump, BR offsides, but they've been very disciplined.
So a big 4th and 1, off in the motion man, and the pass is complete, wide open and into the red zone territory. The ball came loose, but he was down long after, but nonetheless a huge first down pickup for Barnstable here in the first minute or so of this second quarter.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. That's kind of a broken assignment there, I think, by the defense. Nobody picked up the tight end coming up the middle. That's an easy little, you see that in the NFL all the time. The tight end goes for a block, breaks off the block, easy wide open play right in the middle of the field. The linebackers are nowhere in sight.
That pass was completed to Dyer. First and goal here for Barnstable as they had the BR faithful screaming at them here. Going for the end zone. A flag came out.
Yeah, he never turned his head. That's pass interference. As a defensive back, that's the thing right there. You have to turn and look for the play.
So I was looking to see if they're going to call touchdown or not. So I think the receiver there. An eligible man downfield.
No, not being against BR or anything, but the defensive back there did not make a turn on the play. But
there was a lot of stuff going on.
There was a lot of stuff going on. That's another play you'll see, a penalty you'll see early in the year. Players not knowing where they are in the field. But you see here, the defensive back.
Looks like 55 there was the one that charged through and got a little too happy about where that ball was going.
And that's just knowing where you are in the field, knowing where you're supposed to be.
So BR declined the penalty, so it brings up 2nd and goal. And we got our first timeout of the night called by Ian Bain and the BR Trojans.
I think that's a good timeout, though, John, because this is a huge possession right here. I think he wanted to see what kind of offense Barnstable was putting out there and what Hamilton looked like in the pocket, who he had back there with him, and then call a quick timeout and say, okay, look, if we can get into the 3rd down and we know we're going to go to 4th down, what can we do here to kind of make them a little bit more uncomfortable, and what are they going to try to put on the field?
And meanwhile, for Barnstable, I mean, they're getting the job done on the ground and in the air as well. So if you're Ian Bain, you really have to think twice about, how do you want to play in this defense, right? Especially with a quarterback like Dylan Hamilton.
Right. I think you need to have that 3rd or 4th linebacker in there, maybe take a safety out and try to have somebody a little bit more, especially in this part of the field, have more linebackers standing by there and maybe spy him a little bit and see what's going to happen. Do we have to come up for a run, or do we have to drop back and take away that middle part of the field, which has been very open for them most early in this game? Yeah, so they're pulling the safety down here on the right side of the field, acting as an outside linebacker.
Dyer, the motion man. Hamilton sidearms it short of the end zone, but the pass is complete nonetheless to number 4, Caden Forts.
Yep, that's just another quick slant. Defensive back being outsized and not being able to get in there and make a play in there. That's just simple football right there, an easy slant. Receiver using his bigger body to get around it and making a nice catch.
Hamilton 9 for 11 passing so far here this afternoon, now turning into evening here at BR.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see maybe a sneak by Hamilton here, or maybe an easy little, quick little handoff.
Here is the handoff to Dyer, and Dyer will get in the end zone for 6.
That's a tough one there. Not really much to say on that one, huh, John? Just the running back finding his way, inch his way around his big offensive lineman and find a hole and able to get himself in there. Let's see what the kicker can do here, John, because they didn't have any confidence with him earlier. Let's see what he can do.
This is Diaz on for the PAT, and it's a 14-7 game with 9:42 to go. Still in the first half, so still plenty of time to go here in this one for BR. If you're the BR Trojans, you go ahead and say, yes, we just gave up a touchdown, but we also gave up a touchdown earlier and answered back with some huge plays on offense.
Yeah, it's just another deficit that they have to come out and try to make up for right away. It's kind of, they've been playing kind of from the back from the beginning if you're the offense, and trying to come out here and trying to make some decent plays and try to get into the half, hopefully tied up. You get set, you get 9 minutes, 9:42 on the clock, so you got time, and you have 2 timeouts. So not really thinking about time yet, but as you know, time does move fast in high school football, and you don't have really a chance to get down the field. Hopefully they can make some plays.
Again, the wind going from left to right across your screen, so this could actually help Diaz in pinning BR back a little further here on this kick.
Yeah, and they've had some decent returns so far in the game, in the 2 returns that they've had so far, but it's kind of a lost art is the kick return. It seems to be just go down as soon as you can, and especially in the NFL now, you don't even see returns.
Yeah, it's going to be weird going from this in college football
right
to watching Sunday afternoon.
Whatever that is, yeah.
It's the USFL kick return special. And this is Dylan Reed bringing it back for BR's offense to the 25. Reed stopped at the 31-yard line. Nice return there by Dylan Reed.
Yeah, really good return. It kind of developed, I think, by him having to go back a little bit to catch it. It gave them a little bit more time to actually set up the blocking scheme coming up on the kick return, as opposed to normally it's kind of a crapshoot if it even kind of develops. That developed perfectly, and great return.
So they're going to spot it at the 33-yard line for BR's offense.
Hey, John, we'll see if they come out here and try to get the run game going a little bit. But it looks like they're kind of opening up here. They're going to throw it.
How about that? Something we never thought we'd see at BR.
No, it was always the power eye.
As now Tripp joins Lambert in the backfield. And Lambert will complete this one to the near sideline to Kelleher. Might be a yard shy of the first down.
Yeah, that's a great play for a little bit more of an inexperienced quarterback. Giving him time in the backfield, going from the shotgun, and just an easy out, throwing the ball, hopefully only where the receiver can catch it, keeping it in front of him down on his hip. Great play right there by Lambert.
Just enough for the first down, so.
Yeah, that's huge. First down in the first play. Almost up around the midfield.
Third completion for Lambert of 10 yards or more here in this first half. Hand off to Tripp. Spinning off a couple of defenders, still on his feet. And Tripp's feet are not failing him here in the second quarter.
Yeah, great run by Tripp. Getting through, 3 or 4 defenders and then actually stiff arming and power sticking them and using the defender to keep himself up. Great determination, great driving of the feet. That's what you taught at the younger levels in football, and shows he hasn't forgot that.
The 6th carry of the day for Caleb Tripp, one of a handful of seniors on this BR team.
Be nice to see if they can get Lewis in there a couple more times too, depending on how Tripp's doing, stamina-wise.
2nd and 6, Drew Sylvia, the motion man. Lambert goes out of bounds. I don't know if he was maybe hit on the throw or saw something coming his way.
I think that was a good call by a younger quarterback, not really having much. Thought he was probably feeling the pressure a little bit and kind of threw that off to the side. And there's no receiver nearby.
Now with a 3rd and 6, you'd have to imagine the offensive playbook is really open here, especially with a running back like Tripp and someone that can throw the ball like Lambert.
Well, the thing is, you have Lambert that can throw and you have Tripp that can run. Maybe a good play action here. Maybe try to pull the defense in.
Lambert surveying, gets rushed and throws it away and into the stands. Nice bounce and a nice grab. Guy on his phone.
Well, But now you hopefully come out here and you get a good punt, put him deep.
There is a flag on the field at the 37. And referee's asking Barnstable, so it is going to be holding against the Trojans. They'll decline.
So that's another punt situation now where you kind of felt more confident about maybe getting it down within, inside, at least inside the 10, inside the 20, but maybe the 10. Now you really need that wind or a good bounce to get it down there. So to try to pin them down. So this is a tougher punt than they were expecting.
And Finn Kelly has the wind at his face.
Right.
It looks like number 32, Josh Ferguson, set to return for the Redhawks. And it bounced off a Barnstable player, and BR recovered. How's that for heads-up football here at the regional?
No, the opposite, John, not heads up, because what they should have been screaming is poison, poison, poison. At least that's what we said when there was a punt down there. Get away from the ball. Everyone aware. It's like a grenade. You get out of the way. That right there is not heads-up football.
Looked like number 59 was trying to prevent, I think it was might have been number 6 there, Jameer Anderson, who came up with the ball from, going in on the tackle, but turns out he was the one that caused the turnover.
Right, that's just a good heads-up on BR football. But if you're Barnstable, you're taking him onto the sideline and telling him a few things about punt coverage.
Well, I don't even see him on the roster, so maybe that's the first sign.
Well, yeah. Again, why is he on the field?
So some new life here for the Trojans with 8:16 to go. New running back into the game here for the BR Trojans. And how about that? Right off the turnover, this is number 44, Cole LeCornick, getting into red zone territory here for the Trojans.
Now that looks like old school BR football right there. It's a huge running back that can come up, and if you try to tackle him, he's going to put you on your back. Great run there. That kind of opens things up a little bit here. Hopefully they can try to find a nice quick, maybe try to find a quick slant receiver here. Try to get a little quick passing game here. Keep the defense on their feet.
17-yard pickup for LeCornick. His first carry of the night. Gets carry number 2, going to the near side, wrapped up and taken down hard by Matthias Cesard.
Yeah. I mean, look at what he did on that last play. Why not try to see if he can do it again? Unfortunately, he's pretty wrapped up there by the defensive line. They kind of knew it was coming that time, trying to flip the play, but hey, if he's got that kind of heart, that kind of drive, keep giving it to him.
Tackle by Cesard and initially tripped up by Josh Ferguson.
And this is a tough down right here, John. So being so close to the end zone, your plays are a little bit limited, and it's 2nd and 9. You tried running the ball, back at him again, and you got your playbook kind of shrinks here a little bit.
McCormick again, but he'll get wrapped up again. And the running game right now looks like, again, as you said, once you get inside that 15-yard, 10-yard territory, you start to see that defense really collapse in on the offensive line.
Right, and when you throw the ball, too, you have the back of the end zone that's kind of collapsing you, too. So throwing the ball here is a little tough as well. So I think they've done enough running with the corner on this drive. I think you try to see if you can get Tripp on the outside, maybe on a swing pass. Again, the slants, if you can get inside, they have some big defensive backs out there. If you can get inside on them and try to get up the middle, you might be able to make a nice play.
Porter and Reed on the far side on 3rd down.
Trying to find him, that Tripp.
That was number 58, bringing the pressure, Spencer LaValle.
Yeah, right there. That's a good play. You're having Tripp coming off there, trying to do a little bump screen, but just not able to get the ball. I think you would have had a decent gain on that play. I think the defense was kind of going past them as they were making the throw.
So BR going to go for it here on 4th down. Again, it's one of those cases of house money. If you don't get the first down, you're at least pinning Barnstable inside maybe the 10-yard line.
Like I said, maybe trying to get a run here too. Like everything's kind of opened up here.
4th down. Lambert going for the end zone, and Porter, but he was out of bounds.
Great catch, but
as we learned last night in Kansas City, you need to keep the feet inbounds.
He had good footwork. If you see on that replay there, he had those big toes down. He just couldn't make the catch while his feet were in bounds. But that good footwork, good hands, good vision. What you want out of a big receiver like that.
So that was a 4th straight incompletion for Lambert after going on a run of 4 or 5 completions.
So, like you said, house money. You pin them down here, and we'll see what you can do with the defense.
And now just from a strategy standpoint, Barnstable won the toss. They deferred, so they get the opening kickoff to open up the second half. Realistically here in high school football, you could get the double dip.
Double score, yeah. Yeah, 5 minutes with three timeouts. I mean, that's kind of what you want for Barnstable. If anything, try to get the clock down as much as you can as well, so that BR doesn't get another possession and you have double possession coming back from halftime, whether you score or not.
That was Jameer Anderson getting the handoff. It almost looked like a high snap initially. I thought it was a direct snap to Anderson.
Yeah. No, that was a good recovery by Hamilton after fumbling it on that earlier possession.
Again, a hard count.
Looks like they moved first.
Typically, referees get the second guy that moved. Nice heads up there by
that was great.
Our
yeah,
officials.
Great call right there. And I think even Hamilton's counts got his own guys moving there. And now you got to think about that. That's going to be on those offensive linemen's mind, the rest of the first half at least.
And there's so many different counts that linemen have to worry about. That,
right.
It could be a shorter count. I mean, with Hamilton, it seems like a lot of his counts are longer.
And that's tough because, I mean, not that we're playing in a loud environment of a Penn State or a Michigan, but you do have a little bit of crowd noise. You do have that. You're also looking at the defense. As an offensive lineman, you're trying to read the defenses. Okay, who's coming at me? What kind of blitz do I have? If you're a good offensive lineman, you're looking at that. So you also have to listen to the hard count. Hopefully that he's loud, and you're trying to read the defense as well and know your assignment. So it's not easy being an offensive lineman that you just stand there and be big. You have to actually be an athlete and try to actually learn and read what's coming at you and listen to that hard count. It's tough.
So we're not Penn State, we're not Michigan, but you know the touchdown song for the BR Trojans on Wisconsin. But we don't have jump around here.
No, or that. Well, over a Legion Field. But
maybe in the woods.
yeah.
Second down, 2nd and 10 for the Red Hawks.
So it seemed like initially to open up the drive, Barnstable just tried creating some space with that quick handoff to Anderson. That was obviously negated with that false start penalty. So now back to where we began with 4:50 to go now. 2nd and 10. And about a 3 or 4 yard pickup. I believe that's Karan Ford. Number 1, it is.
So here's a third down. A third down that if you're BR, you're kind of looking at it, you go, all right, well, if we make a stop here, we know they're going for it on 4th down because that's just kind of what they've been doing. But what do you think here? Do you think they're going with the punt? Or do you think with the time on the clock, moving down, do they kind of try to bring it down as much as possible? Try to get it under 3 minutes down to the 2-minute mark.
This is going to be a very telling play, but obviously you can't go for it on 4th down inside your own 20.
Right, inside, well, you think, but the way Barnstable's been doing it.
Again with an extended count is Hamilton throwing on 4th down. And again, Barnstable was looking for the pass interference intended for Kyle Coffin, but
the punt here.
Good defense there for Emmett Dupuy. Or Dupuy. Who actually got tripped up there on his own 2 feet. And we see Diaz coming out.
So if I'm BR, I'm sending the block on this one, don't you think? Or maybe put an extra guy on the outside, try to put some more pressure on him. They're keeping the two returners back, but
so there was a flag. I didn't know if there were too many men on the field, but waved off. This will be Reed and Payton awaiting the kick. Gonna be good field territory here for the BR Trojans, but the ball goes through the hands of Reed, but he dives on it to preserve things for the BR offense. And I mean, Ian Bain right now, I can only imagine where his heart rate's at with some of these plays.
Yeah, his BP's going through the roof. But yeah, that's a tough one right there. The back pedal's never a good move. If you ever watch NFL, returners or any sort of, high-level college, they're turning and running to the ball as like they're going for a catch. They're not backpedaling because what happens right there, you get caught up on your own 2 feet. You can't read the ball as well. Or if you don't have a play on the ball, leave it alone. Let it bounce where it's going to go. Let them come down and touch the ball. Get away from the ball. If you can't make a play on it, under the lights, maybe the way the sky looks, the way the lights look, maybe you can't see it. Nobody's going to get mad at you. Just let the ball go.
And, I mean, to give him a break, the wind is moving a little bit, so the ball could kind of swirl a little bit.
Yeah, it gets a little knuckly in the air, like a knuckleball coming down, but if you can't make a play, get out of there.
Lambert coming out for another offensive series, going to the sideline, and Porter going to be knocked away as they go into a number of Red Hawks, but nonetheless another incomplete pass here for Lambert in this 2nd quarter.
Yeah, that's one of those ones I think he wish he had back. Going to the sideline, which he's done a number of times tonight, there were way too many defensive players over there for the Red Hawks. I think you either throw that ball away or try to find another receiver coming across the middle.
Kelleher and Reed on the near side here for 2nd down. Trip in the backfield with Lambert again playing out of the gun, as he's done all night.
Looks like it.
Lambert stepping into the throw, tipped up and intercepted for the 2nd time tonight. The pass intercepted this time by Josh Ferguson into BR territory to the 43-yard line.
That's how when we see the replay on this, as you watch going across the middle. He steps up, makes a good throw, but he throws it right into a group of defenders right around his receiver. He was nowhere near open. If you look, number 4 down here, he is probably the better call to go with. It's a bad throw.
And as the players are coming off the field, I can see Lambert and Porter talking. And it almost looked like Lambert was saying that Porter was supposed to go maybe a little further straight, try and get a few more yards and maybe not cut inside.
Yeah, that's all around a bad throw right there.
Ian Bain breaking it down a little bit more for his quarterback.
It looked like Reed was open on that play more if you look at down bottom half of your screen.
Redhawks offense back out here with 3:25 to go in the first half. And Hamilton threw it, and it's going to be incomplete. I was looking for the flag, but number 3 there, Josh Alexander, playing good defense.
I think he made a good play on that from a defensive perspective. He got his head around. He's looking at the ball, makes a move. I think the receiver just kind of lost control of his feet there. I think that was a really good play defensively.
That may be more a me thing, because anytime I'm watching football and I see the pass thrown, it's incomplete, first thing I'm looking for, that little yellow handkerchief.
Right, and it's all perspective on the refs. But, I mean, if you look at the rule book, I think that was textbook defense right there.
Difficult snap there for Hamilton, who throws it too long that time, intended for Forts. And it looks like Hamilton's having a hard time with the snap. He's taking it kind of low as opposed to maybe right around the number.
Yeah, that might be, just a little miscommunication with his center. Maybe he's been a little bit closer in the past. Maybe he's moved back a little bit just with whatever the defense is throwing at him to give himself a little bit more time. And the quarterback can't, and the center can't get it back to him as quick. It could be a number of things, but he has been moving a little bit quicker. I don't think he's been as comfortable on his feet, and that could be the defense just putting a little bit more pressure on him, but I think he's been hurrying things up a little bit.
Forts on the far side, and Ian Bain is going to call his second timeout here with 3:15 to go, as he realizes the importance of this play here with 3:15 in the first half. Again, Barnstable will open up the second half on offense.
Right. Yeah, this is huge. This is where you want to try to get some points here. See if you can make a play up the middle of the field on the outside. See if you can get a break and get a score down here. And I think that's where BR's defense is saying right now, don't let the receiver get behind you. We've seen what they can do. They have speed. You have to stay with your receiver. And I think that comes down to locking them up on the line, pushing them off their route, pushing them, jamming them up in their chest, and putting them off and not letting them get that speed. Because we've seen they have speed, they can go across the middle, and they do have some size. So I think that's big. If you're BR's defense right now is locking them up and not letting them get any cheap catches. And if you're one of the BR linebacker, watching the tight end bump, because we saw that down their last possession going down the field. The tight end was able to get wide open over in the middle of the field.
Secondary for BR has played very well in the second quarter. Josh Alexander and Emmett Dupuis with some big stops and a big incomplete pass there with 3:11 to go, but you're in that field territory where you could think, do you go for it on fourth down?
Right. I mean, this is a tough spot because, like you said, you're at the 3-minute mark. You're kind of down there, kind of like, what are we going to do here? If I was safe, I would see if I can coffin corner it down within the 5-yard line, and then just make BR have some desperation plays before the end of this half. You're getting the ball back. Why do something stupid here where you could get a turnover?
So the offense is going to stay on the field with 4th and 10, 3:11 to go in this first half.
That hard count, too.
Going to throw here on 4th down, tipped away, and again the secondary coming up big for Bridgewater-Raynham in this first half.
No, great play by the defensive backfield here. Getting their hands up, making it tough for the receiver. Again, coming across the middle. That's what we said. That's where they've made their money all night, with either a tight end or a receiver Great job by the defense of BR coming up there, making a play on it. You don't always get the pick, but getting a hand on it and getting your hands up and getting it in the face of the receiver is huge.
Emmett Dupuis with the secondary stop again, his second big play in this first half.
This is a tough play call situation for BR too, because you're almost playing like a 2-minute offense here, even though it's only 3 minutes. What are you going to do? You know what I mean? You got to get the ball down the field.
A high snap and a false start.
So that's not what you wanted, John.
And again, this is the first game of the season,
Right.
and I mean, these teams did have a scrimmage most likely, but you really can't replicate a game situation with the lights on, fans, and obviously a defense that's trying to take you out.
Right. And in a scrimmage, it's usually you do 15, 20 plays on offense, 15, 20 plays on defense, and there's no first down, second down. They might mention it, but this is where it actually counts. You're actually playing, 4-down football.
Just a 5-yard loss for Bridgewater-Raynham. So now 1st and 15 with 3:07 to go and 1 timeout. And getting all those yards back with a big carry is Braden Lewis, who comes back in for the BR offense.
I'm kind of surprised we haven't seen him since early in the first quarter. Well, really on the second drive of the game. We haven't seen him out there getting any touches. I would have thought you would have seen him maybe kind of switch off with Tripp throughout the first half, but we haven't seen him.
29 yards rushing on 4 carries for Lewis.
Right.
Again, the sophomore running back showing off here in this second quarter. Now a 2nd and 4 as we go inside of 2.5. As Ian Bain
Switching it up.
sending some audibles into his quarterback. Lewis is on Lambert's left. And he'll take the carry on 2nd down, and he'll get wrapped up, but
Flag.
taken down for the first down for now, as you heard Corey say, a flag coming out.
Yeah, I think that was probably people upstairs looking down at the play and saying, all right, maybe we can give them another carry up the middle. Maybe they were looking for something else, but I actually saw the defensive line up.
Holding on the Trojans, so
Number 51, Kisby.
a little better than where they were before with the initial false start.
Yeah, and that's where you kind of hear the BR offense. You're like, man, we can't get out of our own way. We're approaching a minute left here in the first half. We need to get down the field.
Minute 51 left to go. Again, Trojans have 1 timeout left. Lewis straight through, taken down at the 49-yard line. So about a 7-yard pickup, but the clock's going to continue to move closer and closer to a minute and a half to go in this first half.
And this is where if you're Barnstable, you're going to give up those little plays up the middle. You're just looking for the deep ball and trying to make sure you don't give up the big play. I think you're going to see them, if they want to run up the middle of the field, they're going to give them those 5-10 yards. But they're looking to make sure that they don't score on this and they can get the ball back in the second half.
3rd and 3. Lewis again in the backfield. This is his drive so far. Leans in for the first down, and he'll get
Now
it.
you have to call a timeout because that's
Well, the clock stops with
Right.
a minute 2 for the chains to move,
right. But
definitely has to be on the move.
There we go, folks. First down, Trojans.
So a 5-yard gain for Lewis and the Trojans offense as we go inside of a minute to go here in the second quarter. Down to 45 seconds. Lambert's going to throw deep on this first down play. Was looking for Kelleher, incomplete, but at the very least the clock does stop with 38 seconds to go.
yeah, that's a tough throw here. You can watch the safety reads this perfectly. I believe it's number 24. He comes over, and if he had to make a play on that, there was a chance for Kelleher to catch that, that's 2 defenders that are right there that are going to knock that out of the air or make a big pick. So their defensive backs have been playing great. Great center field defense right there. Playing deep, watching the ball, not letting anybody get behind them. The only really big plays that BR's had is a couple short out routes that they've been able to get to the sideline. but great defense.
Again, Bain sending some late adjustments here on the line. Going with the ground game again is Lewis. Clock's going to tick inside at 30 seconds to go.
Kind of surprised how much time they're wasting here and not.
Lewis picks up 4. 3rd down.
Lambert gets rushed, going to throw it away on 3rd down.
Lambert on the pressure, throws it out of bounds. Will be out.
So
What
brings
do you
up
do here, John? With 11 seconds, 3rd and 8.
4th down. 4th and 8 from the 4th.
perhaps,
4th and 8, yeah.
perhaps you look at it as an end of game situation.
You don't want to do anything stupid here either.
Right.
You don't want to pick 6, a lazy ball thrown deep, trying for a Hail Mary kind of thing, and it gets picked off, and then they're able to run it back, and they actually do get that double, possibility of a double score.
We have already seen Barnstable with a pick 6, actually the first score of the
game,
night.
yep.
That was Hagen Diaz with Lambert's first throw going back for 41 yards.
All right, this could be a chance for maybe you have him roll out, try to get as much time off the clock as possible and try to throw it as far as he can. But again, you don't want that chance of a pick, and then you go into halftime with that pick on his mind, and there's a chance for a pick 6.
Well, that makes that 3rd down so important when Lambert had to throw it away. If you complete that pass for the first down, you move the chains at the very least, and you can spike it, blow it down,
Right, and
then you still have
yeah.
the timeout.
Right.
Kind of interesting. You think about everything that goes into each play, especially inside the final minute in high school football, especially where you have to think about the clock stopping for the chains to move.
Right, and that's a big thing too, is you do have that. It's kind of like cheap timeouts as you go down the field, but you have to get that play out to the players, and that takes time as well. So getting them a hurry-up offense in high school football is tough because it's not like the pros where it's a little bit easier with communication. You actually have to get the plays out to the quarterback.
And with the hurry-up offenses in high school football, from what I've seen, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, you can see that you need everything to work out perfectly. You have the quarterbacks with the armbands, and it looks like a pro-style offense.
Right, it's tough. It's tough at this level to make that happen.
11 seconds to go on 4th down. Lambert going to throw this one away, and it is going to be picked off at the 24-yard line. The 3rd interception of the game for Jack Lambert, but it doesn't really look as big right now with 4 seconds to go. But nonetheless, still the 3rd interception. Lambert has truly had a roller coaster first half.
Right, not to be Nostradamus here, but so throwing a 3rd pick there. That was kind of like what you didn't want, but it doesn't hurt as bad. It's not as deep as a cut because you have one play here. You try to have your guys deep, make sure they don't get any big plays, but you're kind of going into that as like a punt.
And that's exactly what Bridgewater-Raynham's doing. They were sending their back 2 guys there, number 7, Cameron Knudsen, and Caleb Tripp far back.
Right, it's kind of one of those plays you just don't let the ball deep. And if you're Barnstable, it's not a bad thing to just take a knee here or to run the ball because you do get that ball back in the second half.
And the Red Hawks will take a knee. Dylan Hamilton under center for, I think, the 2nd time tonight. It was just that 1-yard rushing touchdown, and right there, the only times he was under center. But nonetheless, you think about it, 3 interceptions, and you're only down by 7. BR has to be feeling pretty good about itself going into the locker room here.
Yeah, I think realistically, your defense has probably played the best for you throughout this game. It doesn't look like with the 2 touchdowns, but 1 touchdown was a pick 6, and the other one was just a good play up, on the other end of the field. Good slant route, and then able to run it in. So it's really not as bad as you think if you're BR.
14-7 our score here in the season opener for both Barnstable and Bridgewater-Raynham. We'll step aside. It's halftime here at the Regional. We'll have the second half coming up in just a little bit here on BTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome onto the field, the Bridgewater-Raynham marching band. Folks, don't forget to participate in the raffle that's going on. Johnny, the field is yours.
Back here at the regional, a 7-point lead for the Red Hawks of Barnstable over the BR Trojans in the season opener for the 2024 season. John Luck with Corey Cloudman, and this has been truly a roller coaster first half for Ian Bain and this BR Trojans playing in their first game of the 2024 campaign, but nonetheless, there's definitely been some bright spots to come out of this first half.
Yeah, no, I think you definitely saw your quarterback come out here and sling the ball a little bit. Obviously, the 3 picks, that's kind of tough to swallow, but when you look at the act, besides the pick 6, it really hasn't hurt them too much. Again, it's only 7-14. You're still in this game. Obviously, now you're giving them the ball, but the defense has played well. I think BR should feel good about the first half and happy about the second half going into it.
Nice catch there by Darnell Brown going to the far side of the field. The flag does come in. Brown's going to make his way to the 44, 45-yard line, but again, that is dependent on the flag, which typically means a block in the back.
Yeah. That's what it looked like, but let's see what he says here. Maybe a holding. There's a low block there.
So think about it. What would have been a great return for Darnell Brown now with the penalty to start back at your own 24-yard line.
If you look here, we're trying to see where it possibly could have been. And it's right there over on the side.
Looks like that was Jason Dyer, the guilty party.
So if you BR here, you pin them back a little bit more, and hopefully you can make a couple good stops here and make them make a tough choice to punt the ball.
Handing off for the first play of the second half to Karan Ford. Goes nowhere.
I think Barnstable's in kind of a similar spot as BR here. Probably what we'll see when they get their first possession. Try to see where they are in the first half here, what they can get going with their running backs, and see if they can get the game rolling here a little bit. See if they can get some easy plays here, a couple easy runs to get some easy yards.
In the first half, the quarterback for Barnstable, Dylan Hamilton, the junior quarterback, 9 of 15 for 106 yards. And Hamilton has thrown 4 incomplete passes in a row. Second down again, a long count for Hamilton. Off tackle is Dyer, first down and much, much more. Looking for some blocking in the BR territory to the 45-yard line. A big play there for Jason Dyer.
Yeah, that was a great run. That was a good way to get into the backfield. As we'll see here, those receivers got down there. Everyone did their part on the blocking scheme. And you know that's what's going to happen. You have a good running back with good vision, good receivers that have no problem getting dirty downfield and getting in there and getting some good blocks. You're going to get runs like that. And that's where your defense has to say, okay, we have to get ourselves better. We have to make the defensive line smaller and try to get back in there and try to block up those holes and have the linebackers come up and make some good hits. But great run.
Just like that, a 30-yard pickup for the Red Hawks. After they were pinned all the way back inside their 25-yard line after a penalty on the second half kickoff. And nice BR defensive play there.
But now if you look at Barnstable now, you're kind of starting over from the beginning here where you were from the kickoff return. So kind of a second chance to get a good start here. But great tackle by BR. Good job picking him up, slamming him down. And that's a statement hit right there, trying to kind of say, hey, look, hey, you might get a good run here and there, but we're going to come up and take you down.
Charles Swenson with some weight room work there, lifting up Jameer Anderson and throwing him down to the ground.
Oh, good tackle. But here we go, second down. Let's see what they can do here. This is a big stop right here. Trying to force them into a tough third down scenario, making a good timeout here too.
So a timeout just about a minute in, or excuse me, 2.5 minutes in.
That's one of those timeouts where you're kind of questioning why they did it, but there has to be a reason. They must see something. I don't think that's just an inexperienced call right there. I think they see something that they might be able to make a good play here. maybe a certain blitz, see what kind of offense they're putting out there. Again, this second down's big right here because if you can stop them here and make them have another long third down and hopefully force them to punt, get that ball back quickly here in the second half.
Barnstable does have big play potential here. 4 plays of 20 or more yards in this game, including a Jason Dyer 30-yard run that we saw just a couple minutes ago.
Right, Hamilton had a great first half. He had good vision out there. And again, he's a little quarterback, but he makes good plays. Little in the sense, but he can make plays, get outside his offensive line and find the receivers.
Well, I will say, even, you think about college football now, you look at Tom Castellanos for Boston College. I mean, he's a shorter quarterback,
right,
but he can do a great job surveying the field, and it comes down to the offensive line and what they can provide you for protection, right?
Absolutely, and it's also the vision of the quarterback, too, trying to see over those big guys as well.
So out of the timeouts, 2nd and 9. A couple receivers to the near side here for Barnstable. They stay on the ground, and this is Ford cutting back inside. Going to be shy of the first down marker, but going to bring up 3rd and manageable here for Ross Giacola.
So, yeah, now it's a 3rd and manageable, as you said. Now you think back to that timeout, and you say, well, what was that really for if you look at it now? But good tackles, but you never want to see your defenders falling on their back. That shows that they were not in a good spot to make a good tackle and that they weren't playing with their feet. So you're seeing there, like the running back does have the advantage. He has good steam.
With a 3rd and 2 here, Barnstable's offense can basically do anything they want in terms of play calling. Again, a low snap, but stopped just shy of the first down marker.
Oh, my. Oop. Oh, yeah.
I'll let you take over. I'm going to go bring this missing phone over here.
So now 4th down, and it looks like Barnstable's trying to figure out what they're going to do here. It looks like they're going to come out here and try to go for it on the other side of the 50-yard line. Hamilton looking for his players here, looking to see who he's going to bring out.
Look at this. You can do play-by-play. You brought up a pizza. You got it all.
You got it all. Defense has got to come up, but also watch a trickery play here.
And
looks like a timeout was probably called by BR.
And that's a big timeout. We keep talking about these big plays, these big moments in, the 3rd quarter with 7:59 to go.
Right.
And Ian Bain just used the 2nd timeout with 7:59 to go in the first half. So it looks like he's looking at this as an end-of-game situation.
Right. You like to think they know more.
Excuse me, 3rd quarter.
They know more than we do, but it is a head-scratcher when you look at this and you say, wow, you might need those later in this game, especially with it being so close.
Definitely a big drive defensively for Bridgewater-Raynham. If Barnstable eventually scores on this drive, then you're talking about a 2-score advantage, and
right,
that's really difficult to come back from, especially in high school football.
And having no timeouts. But this is one of the ones here, now they're looking for the defense, and they're saying, okay, if we stack the line, try to stop them here on this 4th and 1, what else can they do? We need to have a good athletic defensive back that can swing out if need be, that there is another play going on to try to do a trickery here. What are we going to do? What kind of defense are we going to put out here? Are they going to bring that same offense out here that looks like they're just going to push up the middle, or are they going to spread it out? So getting the right people out here is important.
Worth noting, Barnstable did have a goal-to-go situation from the 1. They scored a Dyer touchdown, and I thought they were going to go to Dyer. It was a QB keep by Hamilton, and turns out that was the wrong decision by the Redhawks.
Great defense. No, that was great by the defense. That was them not getting sucked up. If we'll see in the replay, if they don't get sucked up, they stay at home and they play their job. Watch the linebackers. He stands there. He knows something else is coming, and they go out there and they make a good game tackle for the turnover. Huge play. So a lot of times in high school football, you'll see everybody go dodging for that what would be run, and then that quarterback goes out there and possibly scores. That's why it's so important for linebackers to stay home and not get sucked up into those plays.
So now those 2 timeouts, it looks like for the moment, came in very clutch there for Ian Bain here in this first game of the season.
Right, and we'll see as we go down, but those are important timeouts that you might need later in the game.
Reed and Kelleher on the near side here. Lambert going to hand off to Tripp, and Tripp darting through the 40 to about the 41-yard line. About a 3-yard gain for the senior running back.
It would be good if we could get
and Tripp down on the field.
Well, I guess we will get Lewis back out there. But I was going to say, with Tripp playing both sides of the field, defense and offense, it would be good to get him some breathing time. But looks like he's going to get that no matter what.
You can see Tripp looking for help, and then eventually he just falls down to the ground. And
it's like might be a cramp there as you see Pete the trainer coming out for the rescue.
Long-time trainer, Pete Smith, going back to your days.
Yep. Oh, yeah, my days before my day as well. Looks the same as he always has. He's aging backwards.
You were very complimentary of his new golf cart, I will say that.
Yeah, that is the Mercedes-Benz of trainer apparatus.
Good to see Tripp getting off the field under his own ability.
Hopefully he doesn't trip.
And you have to think about cramps coming into play, especially in these early season games with the heat and the humidity. It's not exactly, full-time summertime heat, but it is still pretty warm out for football players wearing these pads.
Exactly, and playing both sides of the field doesn't help either. When you do play defense, you do play offense, you're never really off the field to hydrate. We are just coming out of halftime, but still, it is a tough time to stay hydrated.
Lewis going to pick up another 3 yards. He was one of the big stories in that first half, the sophomore running back, Braden Lewis.
I think, you have to give him as many touches as you can in this early part of the second half. See if he can break out and try to get some big runs. Try to open up your passing game again, because with him threatening to run up the middle, that does open up some passing lanes out the outside.
We haven't seen Lambert throw the ball here on this drive.
Nope.
He did have 3 interceptions in the first half, including a pick 6.
But I don't think that can be deterring him from throwing.
Well, he is going to throw here on 3rd down. Never mind, he's going to run the ball here. Gets the first down into Barnstable territory to the 48. Big play there for Jack Lambert.
And that's just him using his athletic abilities. You can see here he has nothing. And instead of throwing the ball or kind of sitting back there longer waiting for something, he takes it in his own hands literally and takes it up and gets a good first down. It opens up another part of the game that maybe Barnstable didn't realize, that he can run the ball.
So a new set of downs for BR coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Lewis is still out there. Let's see if they give it to him on this play.
They fake it to Lewis. Lambert going deep, and that is going to be a couple feet too long there for Will Porter Jr. Lambert and Porter Jr. have been trying to work on that connection all night.
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge here in the second half, is getting them hopefully on the same page. But you see right here, that fake to Lewis, that does suck up some of the defensive players. And the compliments that I've had on the defensive backfield for Barnstable throughout this whole game, with knowing their position and not letting anybody get behind them, right there shows that this threat of Lewis, they definitely talked about him in the second half. It brought people up to try to come up and make a play and was able to get a receiver open downfield. That is the importance of having that star running back.
They're going to stick the sophomore again in the backfield. 3 receivers to the near side. Handoff goes to Lewis and just charges into about 3 or 4 players for the very short pickup, if anything. Going to bring up a 2nd and 9.
Third.
Or 3rd and 9, rather.
Yeah, this is a tough play call right here if you're the Trojans, because it's 3rd and 9. You're in a weird spot in the field. Not so much that you would go for it, but you're in a weird spot where maybe you could make a play and get that first down, but it's a long way, and it's finding that open receiver as you see 3 receivers come out on the right side of the field.
Mason Payton was next to Lambert, and that pass intended for Payton going to be incomplete as Payton came out of the backfield for that one.
Yeah, so that was the kind of play I think they were kind of hoping it would open up a little bit better. Maybe not as close to the sideline, but maybe a little bit more of a seam, maybe on the numbers that he might have been able to get 10 or 11 yards on that play. I just don't think it ever opened up, and it was kind of a throw out to his outside corner.
And the Trojans will kick things away here in this third quarter with 5:08 to go. Ben Kelly again kicking against the wind. Has some pressure coming on. Very wisely, you could see, I think that's number 26, Isaiah Chisholm. But you could see him, he saw the ball coming near him, and he said, I'm not having any part of this.
Yeah, I'm out of here, yeah.
Of course, going back to the first half when...
I'm sure that punt return team has gotten an earful enough tonight to think, yeah, we're not touching any more punts tonight.
Redhawks will start first and 10 from their 26-yard line.
So we'll see Dylan Hamilton come back out on offense.
Yeah, it's good field position for the Trojans, and hopefully they take advantage of this and know that. But again, they're going to try to run the ball. I think they're going to try. They had some success early in the second half here, and I think the defensive line for the Trojans have to step up and shrink up those holes in the middle of the field, get a smaller line, and try to get in there and try to make some plays. I think Hamilton has had 4 incompletions in a row. He wants to get something started here, maybe a couple good runs.
4 incompletions in a row, and that followed 6 complete passes in a row. That is going to be complete to the far side. Going to pick up a few yards to number 87, Brady Kundo.
And that play right there is sort of like an outside run, if you think about it. Getting it to your big tight end, out on the side, behind the line of scrimmage, seeing if he can get out there and make a play, turning around the corner. But decent amount of yards right there, 3 or 4 yards, able to get up there, and not a bad play for Barnstable to start out this drive.
I will say unofficially, I had that down as Kundo's second catch of the game. Stats keeping not really my MO.
I think that's right, because I believe he did have the bubble catch in the middle of the field there for that big first down in the first half.
Hamilton really getting into that count, now getting rushed, going to be incomplete. The pressure coming in by number 11, C.J. Lopes.
Yeah, right there. That's just that pressure on Hamilton. As you see Hamilton kind of seeing the blitz coming and is trying to get rid of it, and it takes a good lick off the head. But
Lopes, along with Vincent Tavares, a senior for the BR Trojans, brings up 3rd and 5.
Right, and I think that's the pressure that we were talking about earlier in the game that they wanted to get on Hamilton and try to make him make those desperate plays and hopefully make a mistake or maybe put the ball into the player's hands behind the line of scrimmage and try to get some loss.
That is going to be complete to Dyer, and Dyer has nowhere to go, taken down by Dylan Reed again.
You're hoping Lopes put his hands up. He's such a big kid. He's right there in the passing lane. Hopefully he puts his hands up as you watch here. Number 11, Lopes coming up here, putting his hands up. Hopefully could have made a tip on that play, but great play by the defense. Reed coming up big.
The second completion for Hamilton that was for negative yardage. Diaz will kick away to number 5, Mason Payton. Number 4, Dylan Reed. Takes a BR bounce, and it goes out right around the 43.
That's a good job right there by the returners for the Trojans of not trying to come up and make a desperate play to catch the punt and just let it go. As we saw earlier, Reed was able to get back on the ball, but it was a tough play to watch as he muffed it.
So as we get set to see the offense come back out to the field here, now that BR's really gotten, into the groove of things, if you will, in game speed here. Is there anything that you think they can pick up on from the Barnstable defense in terms of, maybe exposing that run a little more with, Braden Lewis, or, can they try and get the pass and give Lambert a little more time? Because some of these throws, it looks like he is getting a little bit rushed in terms of timing.
Right, and I think a great point with getting the run game going. That did, as we saw in that one play where they just missed each other, getting that running game going, having the defensive backs coming up on the fake is huge, and you're able to get the receiver wide open.
LeCornick gets the first carry of the drive, almost got pulled down, and he will get stopped just behind the line of scrimmage.
So I like this call with LeCornick because he had that one big, or maybe two big runs, but I think they're kind of reading him now, and they kind of understand like what he's all about, and they're wrapping him up. That's a good adjustment on Barnstable. Right now, I think you keep Lewis out there and you try to get that speed of Lewis on the outside, that running back. But now that it looks like they have LeCornick in there, I think they kind of know, like, hey, he's probably getting the ball if he's out there.
Kilhurd and Reed lining up on the near side. Lambert looking for Reed. And incomplete as he goes off into the BR sideline.
So now we got a 3rd and 10. So nothing really coming out of this drive so far. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Kind of interesting to see, in high school football, everything develop, and the fact that you don't need to have the quarterback go all the way to the coach now. The coach can kind of give some signs, and you can kind of get the play to develop a little quicker, at least at the line of scrimmage. No,
that's a huge advantage. That's tough, and that's a skill too. Like, that's not something easy to get. Like, you have to practice that. LeCornick's still back in the backfield.
And he gets the carry on 3rd down, and he goes nowhere.
Yeah.
Taken down by number 26, Anthony Perella.
Kind of a give-up play, if you ask me, right? Like, that's kind of like, hey, we don't trust the quarterback to step back and try to make that pass for 10 or 11 yards. It's I don't know. That seems kind of very conservative as opposed to what they've been doing the rest of the game. Still being down 7.
Definitely a different drive from what we're used to seeing, especially here in the first half plus of this game.
Right. Seems like they kind of changed up the plays there on that drive as opposed to trying to be more aggressive, to be more conservative and just trying to.
I'm almost a little more conservative from, what we saw.
But it's kind of weird that they had LeCornick back there, unless they were trying to give Lewis, and if Tripp's still hurt, some time off. But I think you try to have them out there as much as you can right now. I think LeCornick's probably more of a eat up the clock kind of guy as opposed to like a big time playmaker as a running back.
There's a lot of players coming in, so I almost wonder if this is the case for Ian Bain in these first couple of games. This game tonight, obviously, right, and Plymouth South next week. If you use that almost as a de facto preseason and building up your depth chart and maybe giving LeCornick some carries and trying to figure out maybe he's more of a 3rd down back, a 3rd and short situation.
No, yeah, he's definitely one of those guys that's going to give you those tough yards. Maybe like a modern fullback, which you don't hear about too often.
So Barnstable back out on offense, and again, Dyer going to work, getting a very easy 11 yards.
Yep, that's the kind of run right there that they want to have, especially at this time of the game. Eat that clock, get the yards, 5 or 6 yards on each carry. Yeah, nothing flashy, but just get as many yards as they can.
Caleb Tripp is back out on the field on defense, playing in the secondary for the Trojans.
And that's a tough call, too, if you're the Trojans, too. If you're Bain and you look at that, do I put him out there on defense? Is he that important to me on defense? And will he be ready to play on offense? Will he have enough stamina and enough juice to go back out there?
We have seen BR secondary come up in some big spots in this game, but just like that, a 1st and 10 now turns into a 2nd and short.
2nd and 3, I believe. And, yeah, that's where you get into that time of the game now where you need to have that stamina kind of kick in and keep yourself up here. This is a tough time of the game. End of the 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter. You're starting to feel that that tiredness, you're starting to feel that heaviness come over you. This is where you have to have that second gear and that second wind kind of thing.
Dyer with 2 straight running plays.
Right.
In what should be the final play of the third quarter.
And now you're BR's defense, and you look at it and you say, okay, we're on the other side of the 50. We're in the fourth quarter. We're down by 7, and we're not stopping them at all. This is where you have to kind of step up. This is where the good football teams step up and they make a play, because you let up another touchdown here, I think the game might be over.
And is there something to be said, too, for continuing to go with the run and trying to tire out that defensive line of Bridgewater-Raynham?
Right. No, that's exactly right. I said that before. Like, this is where you want those 5 and 6 consecutive yards on those run plays. Nothing sexy, nothing cool, nothing great that you're going to look at and be like, wow, that's the best run I've ever seen. But look at the clock. Okay, wow, that whole possession just took 8 minutes. And maybe you do score, maybe you don't, but you're doing your job because you're already up, and you're making that clock disappear.
Jam-packed crowd here at the Regional, and BR going to be away from the Regional for a few games here, going off on a 3-game road trip to Plymouth South next week, then Marshfield and Millborough before returning home to take on Durfee on the 11th, a 6 o'clock kickoff on October 11th. That actually kicks off a string of 3 games in 4 weeks at home,
right?
Which could prove important if you can get some wins in the early part of the season.
Well, John, they will be going to New Bedford after Durfee.
3 and 4.
Right.
So Hamilton back to work to open up the fourth quarter. Hands off to Dyer, as has been the case the past few plays.
And there it is right there, those little sneaky runs, 2 to 5 yards, getting those easy yards, easy clock time coming off the clock. Hoping you score, hoping you don't, even not hoping you don't, but if you don't, not a big deal. Like, you look at it, all right, well, now they have no timeouts, and we're eating up all this clock, and they haven't been able to get the passing game going in the second half. So I think that's a big thing for BR. If you're thinking in the late second half, what are we going to do if we can't get this pass game going?
Anderson going off tackle before being eventually pulled down by a number of Trojans, including Drew Sylvia.
Third down, 37, third down.
As we were just reminded by the announcer, third down. But this is a big third down right here for them, right, John?
And each third down, you can feel the pressure mount for the BR defense, because if you go ahead and give up another first down carry or a first down conversion here, you're killing off another 2 or 3 minutes.
No, you're absolutely right.
Hamilton completes the pass to the far side, but a big tackle there by Cameron Knudsen just over the 35-yard line. So again, almost no man's land here for the Barnstable offense. The pass completed to Kyle Coffin.
So if you're Barnstable now, what are you thinking right here? Because you can't kick it. You're in that weird spot on the other side of the 50. I mean, you don't want to give them another, good field position, but I think you go for it here, don't you?
I mean, if you have Jason Dyer on your team the way you're playing, you have to go for it here.
Right.
A 4th and 3 coming up on the 10-minute mark in this fourth quarter. Trojans faithful getting behind their team.
And false start. No flag.
I will say, at least Caleb Tripp was nice, and he offered the referee to pick the flag up for the ref. Earned some brownie points.
That's a gentleman's play right there.
Back to a 4th and 3. Hand off to Dyer, off tackle. He'll get the first down. As the chains move, the clock ticks in just a moment here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want there, John, is getting Dyer the ball, and proven that throughout the game here, and those are the little plays right there that are going to end up being a big part of their victory here if they keep that up. Like I said, nothing that you're going to look back on and be like, wow, that's the run of the year, but you keep getting those consistent runs, eating this clock up, possibly getting another touchdown. I think that might be the game-winning play.
And BR's done a great job keeping Hamilton in check in the second half. You go back to the first half, he threw for over 100 yards. And there were a number of big-time plays. You think about it. I mentioned there were 4 plays earlier in the game of 20-plus yards.
Right.
BR's done a good job of keeping the big play out of this game. Unfortunately, they've allowed Dyer to get going and get those small gains that, more importantly than anything else, just kills time off the clock.
Right, and that's what they needed in the second half, really, because in the first half, their run game wasn't really anything impressive. It was more stop Hamilton, and that's kind of what they had to do. And I think that's what they've kind of adjusted to do. But now they can't seem to stop the run. So that's going to be the big thing now when they come down to this late part of the second half.
Great job by our folks on camera tonight. We have Ty Dorico Van Loan, Jonathan Rodriguez, Ara Galenian coming back and helping us out here at BTV. In the truck, we have Mike Moriello, Al Lacerda, and actually Jeff Fowler doing work in the production truck. Jeff Fowler doing work. I think that's the statement of the season.
Right to work.
And we have plenty of pizza to go around. So if you volunteer with us, you'll end up with a pizza.
Hey, that's a selling point. Who needs money?
Barnstable sticking with Dyer here out of the timeout as we go inside of 9 minutes to go.
Yep, this is exactly what they don't want, John, and it just seems to keep unfolding here. They can't stop the run of Dyer, and as you look at the clock, it's tick, tick, tick. Almost, approaching the 8-minute mark here, and Barnstable just getting first down after first down.
Going through the middle, that's not Dyer. That's a new running back for
Number
Barnstable
1.
here. Karan Ford breaking up the string of Dyer runs.
Yeah, that's fresh legs right there. Finding a hole and able to have some good speed going up the middle. Good
Sticking with Ford again to the far side, inside the 5, keeping those feet moving, but he'll be shy of the goal line, stopped at about the 3-yard line.
Backs against the wall here, John, huh?
You could almost say Dyer Straits after everything Dyer's done.
First down, first and goal.
Tell you what, I'll be punching that ball if I'm on defense right now, trying to make a turnover.
They go with Ford, and Ford lowers his head, and he's in for the touchdown. Karan Ford may have just put this game out of reach against the BR Trojans.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think that's kind of the thing right now. You're also down timeouts as well, which we saw early in the game. We kind of questioned. Maybe they knew something we didn't, but this is going to be tough. You haven't gotten your pass game going this whole second half. You're down 2 touchdowns, and you're almost down to 7 minutes as well. So
as Diaz comes on for the PAT. And the kick will be good into, looks like the Badgers and the Giants players in the grass there to make it 21-7 with 7:55 to go.
be interesting to see what they bring out. They bring out when they get the ball back here. What kind of plays are you going to have? Are you going to go with Lewis? Are you going to have Tripp out there? Or is the corner going to be back out there? I think that's kind of been their telling sign with what players are out, with what running back is out there, what they're going to do on that drive. It seems like when Lewis is out there, they're going to try to run the ball with him. Tripp, they have a little bit more of a passing game. And the corner, it seems like they just try to give him the ball or try to go up the middle. So I think the defense has kind of started to figure that out and say, okay, well, we kind of know where this is going every time the offense comes out there. So I think that's going to be kind of interesting if they can kind of switch that up a little bit.
Before the game, we talked about BR opening up the playbook, changing things, not being that conservative running team.
Right.
We just saw that from Barnstable. We saw a legitimate Dan Biron type of offense.
That looked like a Dan Biron offense right there. Yep, running back up the middle, fullback coming up to beat up the linebacker up the middle, and get good plays. And that's exactly the kind of offense that you used to see here at BR.
Control the clock. You had a drive that started in the third quarter, bled through into the fourth quarter, about 4 minutes in.
Right.
Again, Diaz will kick away to Reed and Payton. And this will be Reed from just over his own 10. And he gets tripped up and pulled down by number 6. That's Jameer Anderson.
Yeah, not a great return, not great field position here, but hopefully they can figure it out. I mean, again, this is going to be interesting to see who is coming out for this drive here in the fourth quarter here.
And if there was ever a time that Ian Bain needed that long pass from Lambert to Porter to work, now's the time. We've seen them try it a few times. It's been just a couple feet too long there for Porter.
See, what's good about having Porter on the right side here, he has the sideline to kind of protect him a little bit. If he can get down the field, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it does look like there's a good chance that they could have him go deep on the right side here.
Got a handoff to Tripp on the first play of this drive on offense, and he gets stopped at the 30. Good to see Tripp at least on offense again.
Right, that's good. That's a good handoff to Tripp, and hopefully that can be similar to Lewis. With having him out there, that could pull that safety or that corner up a little bit more than used to. Have Porter on that right side, which looks like, if you look at right now, 24 is coming up. He's going for a read. It looks like it might be a one-on-one with Porter if they can find a good spot right there.
Again with Tripp, and he'll get wrapped up right around the line of scrimmage, maybe a 1 yard gain or so. Again, Barnstable will live with the 1 or 2 yard gains. It's those big plays they're trying to keep out here in this fourth quarter.
If I'm BR, I'm hustling a little bit more to this huddle or to the line because that clock is not stopping. And with these run plays early, I think that is kind of confusing Barnstable why they're running the ball so much, which makes me think that they're trying to find some sort of play here coming up.
3rd and 1, coming up on 6 minutes to go here in the fourth.
Flag on the
Get
play.
a stoppage as Tripp gets past the first down marker, but that may be all for naught.
Flag on the play. Holding on the offense. That'll move it back a little bit. Negates the run, so it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 10.
So instead of a 3rd and very short that was converted before the flag came in, now it's back to a 3rd and 10.
Yeah, this is a tough one, John, because now you can't really go for it on 4th down. You're almost in you're behind your 20, so.
Completes a read, and he gets wrapped up behind the original line of scrimmage.
Kind of a weird play call right there, huh, John? I don't really get it.
And these are things that, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, obviously you played football and I didn't, but these are things that you go into the film room on Monday and Tuesday, and maybe there is that conversation between coach and quarterback, and you try and figure out the thought process there, and maybe this is something that you get into a game against Plymouth South and you have a 3rd and long. You can kind of figure out your options a little better then.
Right, and I get, like, maybe there's something isn't there, and you have to kind of waste the play. But at this time of the game, you know, we're approaching 5 minutes. What is that screen really going to do for you in the long run of this game? It's 3rd and 10. Like, you're already down, 2 touchdowns. Like, there needs to be like some sort of mental process of like, okay, maybe that just isn't going to work. And I think, like you said, that's going into the film room, and you pull up that play and you go, okay, what were we going to get here?
So off the false start now, a 4th and much longer. Takes a Barnstable bounce and Good awareness there by Vincent Tavares. So Barnstable will be starting within BR territory here.
And I think you're going to see a lot of running coming up here, too.
So now we have a chance here. Let's talk about the sharp contrast in the play in the first half and the second half, be it the play calling, be it the play execution. There was something that changed. Was it more BR just changing things up, or did Barnstable maybe change something defensively that kind of quelled anything BR was trying to start?
I mean, I think it's kind of hard to say because I think BR definitely tried to make some changes during halftime, but I think Barnstable definitely stopped their throwing and their running game as well. I think that's the thing you never saw get going. BR offense could not get going.
Ford will be met at the line of scrimmage, but at this point with one timeout and the clock ticking to around 4.5.
It's kind of too little too late at this point.
Second down, 2nd and 10.
And is there something that you're seeing with BR that maybe shows that maybe this is the start of something positive here? Obviously, a lot of new players coming in. Obviously, a new coaching staff coming in. There's stuff to work on.
Right.
But is there anything you're seeing here that maybe shows glimpses of something developing for Bridgewater-Raynham's success?
Right. I think absolutely. The stable of running backs looks good. It looks like he's trying to develop those. They have good receivers. But I think the big thing is, like, they didn't collapse after they gave up that pick six, where a lot of teams could have packed it in at that point and said, look, that like we're devastated, like it's just a devastating play. They came back and they stepped up from that. And I think that's huge. That's huge. It has to be huge on the coaching, because having that mindset as a player, especially as a high school player, you don't have that kind of mindset yet on how to kind of brush something up, not like an NFL or like a senior college player. Having a kid at this age, 15, 16, 17 years old, 18, and coming out and coming back after that, that shows that they are there. They are trying to get something going here, and I think they can. With the season going on, maturing as the season goes on, and getting a little bit more comfortable with each other. Coaching staff change and everything, that can be tough. That could take a couple weeks to kind of get grooves and vibes and everything with everybody and get a good groove going.
Maybe a momentum boost, at least going into the few off days here for BR, if they can get a stop on 3rd and long. Off in the motion man. And
nice.
That is picked off, and it's going to be brought back for a pick six. They needed a big play. They got a big play. Cameron Knutson back to the house. 59-yard pick six.
And there you go, John. That's definitely what you need right there.
In a 3rd and long, I remember on the BR offensive side, you said something to the effect of, why are you throwing on a 3rd and long? You could almost ask the same thing for Barnstable.
Right.
You had the game in full control. Why are you throwing on a 3rd and long?
And it's similar play, because you're throwing a screen that's real close. A shorter quarterback, he can't see over his offensive line that there's a linebacker or a strong safety coming up, and it makes an easy play and has a huge touchdown. Almost
Trip a little late getting out there for the PAT.
almost a devastating mistake there.
The kick is blocked, but nonetheless still a one-possession game at 21-13, and the play was blown dead. So still a one-possession game with 2:44 to go, but obviously things changed at the drop of a hat as we take a look at the blocked PAT attempt.
Bill, you said it great, John. Like you said, going into next week's game, going into their couple days off, the JV game tomorrow, going into like the beginning of next week, looking at Plymouth South. That's great, having that pick, having that film that kind of goes, yeah, we did some stupid things we have to like figure out and unscrew up. But we also had some of these good plays, and that's good for a coach to have as well going into that film session. It's not all negative, but you have to talk about those. But you can also talk about the positives and the good plays, and see you did some things right.
And just to kind of spin things, I guess, in a negative light, you look at the timeouts at the bottom of the screen here with 2:44. If you had the full complement of timeouts, then you consider kicking away and playing things straight. But now you have to start bringing up the conversation of onside kicks.
Yeah, you are. You're getting to that point in the game where you might have to pull that out, and that's kind of a last-ditch effort, right, John? Like, that's not, like, you don't recover that. That's, looks like they are looking to get the onside kick going here.
About to be a mess of players on the football field. Bounced off a Barnstable defender and then took a couple of weird bounces, but the Red Hawks will recover at the 47.
That's a perfect onside kick right at the chest of the receiving team, hoping it goes through his hands or off his face mask, and that's exactly what it did. Just couldn't get the good bounce to go.
How about number 32 there for Barnstable clearing out his defender?
Yeah.
Josh Ferguson with some good defense on the onside kick recovery.
Yeah, that's kind of you throw your body and just kind of hope it works out, and it did for him there.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for PR defense. Let's get them up there.
And John, this is kind of scary if you are a defense. You don't have those timeouts to really kind of help you, be the 12th man out there to kind of help things out.
Ford gets the carry, and that's not going to help the cause. Well, they do stop them shy of the first down, but still it's going to be second in maybe a yard or two, but still the clock ticking to right around 2 minutes.
It's kind of hard to say this, but if you do let up a large run, you kind of hope he does get the first down just to stop the clock, to give yourself a little bit of a blow. But now you're fighting against that clock with it being, 2nd and 10.
And we have seen with the counts that Hamilton has, those really loud animated counts, that he can throw his own offensive line off. So
maybe here you have a little bit shorter of a count.
This is definitely a unique situation for Hamilton as opposed to anything he's seen here tonight. Playing under center, handoff to Dyer. And this has become a dire situation for BR inside the 5 to the 3. Check that, the 1 yard line.
I think that's a lot of the defense trying to go for that big play, trying to punch that ball out, trying to make a good hit on the side, and just kind of getting away from, techniques and lowering the shoulders. But
they go to Dyer again, and he got a lot of the yards on that drive, so they will give him the touchdown to make it a 27-13 game.
John, it's going to be tough. Like, when this game's over and you see the scoreboard, you would think it was a much different game. But I think they do have to keep their heads high and go through the end of this game and go into the locker room and not be devastated. You know what I mean? It's not as bad as it looks on scoreboard. I mean, it is. But when you looked at the course of this game and the first 3 quarters, it was a completely different game. It was back and forth. It could have been anybody's game.
As Diaz will make it a 28-13 game. And I go back to that Knutson pick 6. There was 2 minutes left. He could have easily just not played as hard on defense, but you give credit to him. He played to the final whistle, and that's something I think this team can take with them as they go in to the next few days of planning for Plymouth South.
And I think that's absolutely right. But even right here, let's see what they do with this final drive. Yeah, maybe a touchdown here won't win the game. Yes, maybe they will run the ball out if they get the ball back after a touchdown. But what can you do here on your last drive of the game to make it look a little bit more respectable, take it within 1 touchdown, within 1 score, and see what you can go out here on a good note. Don't come out here and just 3 and out it and then give them the ball to run out the clock. See if you can use this last possession as a momentum going into Plymouth South and your next couple days off and going into practice next week and having that film session, because right here you have to keep your head held high. This is a really good Barnstable football team. This is a ranked team in your division. So you have to know, hey, this isn't a scrub team that we're losing to. This is a good team. This is probably a playoff team. You have to go into this and go out strong.
And perhaps just from a mindset standpoint, with Ian Bain in his first game, this would definitely illustrate that he looks for that from his kids to play until the clock hits 000.
Right.
As Peyton will go to the far side, trying to pick up a couple extra yards.
Right, let's see here. Good return, gets the ball up here a little bit. But But let's see what Lambert does here. Lambert comes out, see what he can bring out there, and see if he can end this on a high note. Take the leadership like a good quarterback does. Be forceful. Go out there, make some plays, and see what you can get. Like I said, coming into next week, this is huge, this last drive. Not a game-winning drive, but it's a drive nonetheless to show like what kind of grit you have at the end of the game.
Again, after this game, the Trojans head out on the road. 4 of their next 5 are on the road. Next week, they're at Plymouth South, and then at Marshfield and at Middleborough to round out the month of September. Lambert completes the pass, but there is a flag as Kelleher tries to get to the sideline.
Middleborough, another ranked team, along with Marshfield.
Flag on the player, on the offense. Calls for an ineligible man downfield. Replay the down, first down.
So now it will be a 1st and 15.
15.
Kind of a stupid penalty. Kind of a stupid penalty here late in the game, you know, John?
Those are the frustrating things I'd imagine that maybe gets brought up in that film study.
Right.
Lambert completes it to Tripp, and Tripp gets wrapped up around the 20-yard line as we go inside the final minute.
Second down.
I will say it was great having you up here in the booth again.
Oh,
First time
thank
in,
you, yeah.
what, like 12 years?
Maybe, yeah. We'll call it 10.
All right. I mean, we brought you special catering.
Right. I mean, that will bring me back. I'll be back anytime I can, John. There's LaCornick.
And LaCornick. And good to see that. Again, that shows playing to the final whistle as he gets the first down with
He was running
27
hard, too. I
seconds to
think
go.
he just got tackled on Route 24. He went all the way out there. That's a good run. Be nice to see if they could get Porter involved here.
They stick with LaCornick, and he'll get stopped for what will most likely be the final play of the night.
Yeah.
And we said this is the start of a new era. There's definitely been glimpses of hope for the BR Trojans. But on this night in the season opener, it's Barnstable coming away with the 28-13 win here at the regional.
Tough loss, but you got to take the positives out of this one. Look at the film. Kind of a cliche, right, John? But
It's almost seemed like a mindset type of game. I mean, looking at things, you had BR coming in last year at 4-7.
Right.
Barnstable last year was 9-2. You can say that was last year. But obviously, things had changed here at the regional, and this is just trying to show what that path forward may look like.
right, and finding that good connection with a good head coach. I mean, obviously, we had Dan Bjorn here and his staff for decades. What can you do now? I mean, obviously, the Pacheco era just kind of never took off. Now, if you're the new staff coming in here, you got to think, all right, we got the first one down. We definitely have some good points to come out of this. I mean, I think it'd be crazy to say that this game wasn't a telling sign, a positive sign. But you do have to go back to the practice field on starting on Monday and Tuesday and say, all right, look at the film from Plymouth South and see what you're going to actually do. We got to get our heads out of our butts and figure it out.
So it's on the road for the next 3 before they come back home next month. Your final score for the final time: Barnstable 28, BR 13. For Corey Cloudman, I'm John Luck. Thanks for watching.